Hello, we've come down to the Irwell again to see the weir. This actually has been lowered to help the fish because it's not needed anymore. It used to be higher to serve the bleach works. You can see there's a little bit of a beach here, and also if you can see some old stone steps that would have led to the factory, and you might see a bit more of a trace of that as we go further on. Hello, we're at the site of an old footbridge because there used to be industrial workings on the other side of the river, and the bleach works here, so it was useful to have a path between the two, and it was an iron footbridge supported on these brick pillars, which of course is still here. You can see where it ended up there on the bank, and I think it was still there in living memory, but it was eventually decided it was unsafe, and it was pulled down, but the pillars remain. If we go just a bit further up, you can see the tremendous cliffs on the other side of the river. And from the site of the old bleach works itself, you have a great view of the tremendous cliffs on the other side of the Irwell. This is, one of the most impressive stages of the river cutting a gorge through the landscape, probably on its entire course. Hello, we're now at the site of one of the most famous events in the history of the river. In 1936, a section of the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal just collapsed. The wall gave way, and the canal and quite a few boats went straight down the hill into the river, and the river was actually dammed up for a bit. It almost caused a flood. Fortunately, nobody was killed. There is an old photograph which shows another barge dangling precariously over the abyss. I think possibly there were some bags of coal in the barge which were keeping the end on the canal still stable. That's why it didn't follow the other barges down the slope. It really put an end to the canal. They kept open the stretch between Ladywood Colliery and Bury open for a while, but it was never economic to mend this bit. So as you can see, the canal is now a bit of a jungle this way. And yeah, it's a good story. Martin Zero's got a good video giving you the full details if you want to check that out. Hello, we're at Knob End here. These series of locks were used to lift the canal up from down there to up here, where it's split in two, with that arm going to Bury and the one going forward to Bolton. And the trees are obscuring it a bit, but the canal crossed the river by means of the Prestley aqueduct. It's possible we'll get a better view of that a bit further along. Okay, here, just below the locks at Knob End, you've got you've got three separate bridges over the Irwell. First of all, this 18th century packhorse bridge, which is now a footbridge. Then you've got this concrete monstrosity, which is just taking a sewer pipe across the Irwell. And beyond that, you've got the impressive Prestley aqueduct, and that takes the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal over the river. And we won't see it again until it actually merges with the river in Manchester city centre. So it'll be a while, but we'll see you again. Well, if you've been following all the rivers right from the start, you'll realise that we've been here before. This is the great meeting point where the Irwell swallows the crow. Okay.
Hello, children and adults. Here we are at Knob End, and the final resting place of the crow. What river does this connect up into?
This is the mighty Irwell. There's no chance of the Irwell ever giving up its name to the Crow, saying, Crow, you're the junior, you come with me.
It's just like a big jaw fight. It's just like, I see you approaching me instead of running away. Anyway, basically, this is Knob End, and here is a site of scientific interest because it's actually based on industrial waste grounds. It means, like, basically rare plants. Rare plants means that the scientists go.
And just after which the Irwell makes a huge turn and starts flowing to the east for the first time. This is a lovely spot on part of the Knob End site of special scientific interest because there are rare plants growing here because of the lime that's seeped into the soil from the chemical works. Hello. From the footpath which runs through the woods between Farnworth and Kersley, you've got a nice view of the curve of the river Irwell just as it's got past its misfit road and winds round to cross pretty much a semicircle around the little village, I suppose you call it, of Preston. Hello, the woodside path will eventually drop you down it to almost to the riverbank, so you get a nice view of the chimney at Kersley Mill there, one that Fred Dimner didn't manage to get his hands on. Hello, we're standing on Preston New Bridge, looking westward along the Irwell. This separates Stoneclough from Preston. You can see the church there, and there's the river flowing eastward towards Ringley, where it will then make a westward turn. Very curvy at the moment.
I don't like it.
As we all do, Simon. Hello, I did say a while back that we'd seen the last of the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal. That is actually wrong. There are a number of points going forward where it is the best vantage point for the Irwell. And here we're standing at what remains of Ringley Locks. There's not much of the canal beyond that point, but it's nice to see plenty of frogs spawn there. I hope it's not going to dry up before the tadpoles hatch. And we'll move across to have a look downwards at the Irwell here. This is a nice sweep of the Irwell running from Preston towards Stoneclough. You can see there's some nice new housing just on the opposite riverbank. Okay. Hello, this is the bridge carrying the main road, Stoneclough Road, from Kersley over towards Whitefield, and the Irwell's flowing sedately from this point. But we're moving down that way to the centre of Ringley, where there's a much more interesting bridge to look at.
Oh.
Hello, here we're at the most beautiful bridge of all over the River Irwell. This is the Packhorse Bridge at Ringley, which is a scheduled ancient monument. It was built in 1676 because the previous one was swept away in a flood, and now it's just pedestrian traffic, as there's the main Stoneclough Bridge that we were on just a moment or so ago. So this links Stoneclough with Ringley. And isn't it lovely? And here is all that remains of Ringley Chapel, which was built in 1625 according to the date stone, and they've just preserved the clock tower. The rest of the church was replaced by the new one over there, but this has been left in situ as an interesting little monument. And just at the Ringley side of the bridge there are still some old stock, so I think the wood is probably a modern replacement. Unfortunately you can't get in there. I was planning to put Simon in there, but they've locked the gates to prevent that. Okay, we're looking down the Irwell from one of the recesses on the bridge, and here the Irwell is widened and got quite shallow as it flows towards Kersley Country Park. There's a less impressive bridge taking some pipes over down there, and you'll notice that for the residents of Stoneclough they do have a nice little beach here to play on. I would imagine that can get crowded pretty quickly, but yeah, better than nothing. Oh, behave.
By the way, it's filming.
Wow.